So our next topic is ACLs. So basically ACLs are like first if you see suppose let's say we have the manager in our company, so where he has the access to the all records of his team. And then if let's say we have CEO, where he has access to the all records of the managers and the employees, everyone. So how actually is this working? So based on their role. So this is in this way the access control is being done. So in the same way in ServiceNow we have something application called ACL. So what is this is access control list. So if you see here under system security, we have access control. So where this particular access control is where it actually shows which record is to be shown based on their roles, based on the condition, and based on the script. So based on these three conditions, you can actually show a record or make that particular application visible to the user and all. So if you see here, we don't have an option to create or you can create any access controls or anything. So for this particular application, you have a role called security admin. So in the profile, once if you click the profile, you have an option called elevate role. So what does this elevate role does is it gives you an it actually elevates a role by adding the privileges. So this role name is called security underscore admin, which we have seen in our roles, so which is the highest role. So in order to modify any access controls, we use this particular role called security underscore admin. So once if we click on update, then now we are not admin, we are security underscore admin. We have a role called security underscore admin. So once if you reload this particular form, and then if you see, you have an option called new, where you can actually create a new ACL. So let's first see the existing ACL. So here if you see on incident table, we have 110 access controls on this particular one incident table. So how actually is this being done? So let's see. And one more thing is where whenever you create an application, by default it creates four ACLs. So which we call it as, let me just open Notepad. So whenever you create an application, by default it creates four ACLs. So what are the four ACLs is create, read, write or update, we call it as, and delete. Okay, so in shortcut we call it as CRUD operations, not CURD, CURD, CURD. It's not CURD, it's CRUD. So where create, read, write or update and delete. So these are the four ACLs which will be created by default whenever you create an applications. So what are these four called as? These four we call it as operations. So if you just see here, so here we have type called record. So why do we actually call a type? So let's create new one and let's compare. So if you see here type, it's a drop down where you have all these types. So basically in our incident, so in order to create a record, so we use a type called record. And here client callable flow object, client callable script include. We'll be seeing this in the script includes in the scripting classes, and this will be seeing in the integrations and all. So this is where right now we'll be using for the applications, we use record. So this is the incident application where the type is record. So here if you see operations, so what are operations? So as I told you, by default whenever you create an application, there will be the four operations: create, read, write and delete. So other operations, if you see here, these are the other related operations. If you see report view, so whenever you give the report view operation, then for this particular role, here you'll be mentioning the role. For that particular role, you can actually access the reports of incident table. So here are the different operations. So mainly we'll be concentrating on create, read, write and delete. And then here we have the application. So as we are in the, this incident is in the global application, so it's global. So whenever this active checkbox is checked, only then this ACL works, else it won't work. And then if you see here name, so in the new record, name is the star. So star is where it applies for the all the tables. Only if you choose some particular table, you can give that particular table. Else this particular ACL will be applicable for the global. Star is like the global table. Global table is, it applies for the all the tables. And if you see here, let's take this. So if you see here, none, star and all the other fields. So none is where in ACLs we have two types of ACLs. So the first one is table level ACL and the row level ACL. So we also have the column level ACL. So three ACLs: table level, row level and the column level. So here if you click none, it takes the whole table, means where it provides the access to go into the table. That's it, only for the table. But if you give star on top of it, then you can actually access the whole record, means the fields and everything of that particular record. It's like if you see, let's take an example for our home. So for entering into a home, you can actually enter by giving none. And then if you want to go into particular room, so if you allow some guest to come into your home, they can't come directly into your bedroom, they can't come directly into some other room. They have the access up to the hall. That's it. So if they are your more best friends or something, and then they are you can actually they can actually come into any room. So in the same way, you can actually take that particular example, and none is where only to the table, but for the star they can access all the fields in that particular table. And then if you see here, you have every field over here, means only that particular field, only this particular field you are accessing, you are controlling the access to that particular field only. Like that, here you can select any field and give the role over here. So by giving this particular role and saving the record, then what does this do is, so you gave the create operation and for the incident table, and then for some particular field called active or some particular field called description, only they can actually write that. That's it. So they can actually create the record in this particular table. So here in this particular ACL, if you see, the operation is create and incident, and this is none is for the table where they can create the incident. So on top of it, they should actually have the write operation as well. So let's check, do they have that or not. only then they can write. So here we have the list, and let's check for the incident. So created by admin. If you see here, we have the write operation, read operation, create operation on this particular table. So write operation, if you open, for the ITIL role. So for the ITIL role, they have the write operation. For the table, means for the whole record, they have the access to write. And then if you see here, they have the conditions where the incident state is not one of the closed or cancelled, only then they can write. So if it is closed or cancelled, they can't write into that particular incident, so they can't fill the fields in the incident. It becomes read only for them. And if you see here, they have other one, the read ACL. And then the operation is read, if you see. And here, this is the another kind of ACL on the read operation. With the read operation and incident, none is where to the table. So allow read for the records in the incident always, but they don't have the access to the fields of that particular incident table. So did you get my point, or any doubt?
So the name field consists of tables, right? Like incident, problem.
Exactly.
So, and none should
None
drop.
is for the that particular table, whole table. You access that table, but not the fields. On top of it, this is the one
Example.
ACL, you will be saving this. And then you have to create another ACL with star. Two ACLs will be created.
Can you go through with one example?
Actually, can you go on the custom application? Because these ACLs are the existing ACLs which
Okay. Can you go on right ACL once and you can see what exactly we have in those drop downs.
want to create a new one?
Just want to see the options in the drop down and what exactly it will do.
This one?
No, not this one.
This one?
Beside name, yeah.
So these are the fields of the
Fields. Okay. Okay. Can we select multiple fields as well?
No, here you will be selecting one field. You will be saving this record. It will be right. If you see here, incident child. So for every field, you can write the. You will be writing the ACL.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine.
So we'll be going through this in detail. And we'll do the task in the next task. So where we'll be discussing that particular topic and then do the task. So it will be easy.
Sure. Okay, sure.
So as of now, any doubts or any queries? So can I continue?
Yes.
So if you see here up to this, where you'll be giving the name and based on the conditions. So again, what are conditions is you'll be specifying the role, and then here you have an option called security attribute condition. So someone is messaging. Okay, Alekia, no problem. So the recorded session will be, so we can actually go through that. So in the conditions, you have the roles where you can give the roles. And here if you see, you have a tab called security attribute condition, existing and local. So what is existing is whenever you have to select the condition, like has the admin role, and you can actually create the attributes as well. So based on this particular condition, this incident should be visible, this particular field can be visible. So if he is having the admin role, means the logged in user is the admin role, only then this particular operation or this particular condition will be working. So like that you will be specifying the security attribute. Existing is where which is already there, and then local is where you'll be creating the conditions. Only these conditions are met. Suppose the group is hardware. Let's say for only the hardware members, the group members who are related to the hardware, only for them this particular access will be there. And if you see here, impersonating means the impersonation is true. So right now I'm not impersonating. If I'm impersonating as any user, then this particular condition becomes true. So like that, here local is that. And if you see here, data condition. So what does data condition do is, so active is true for the incident record if the active is true, and the category is hardware. So here it is related to the data on this particular table. And we have the other condition called script condition. So what does script condition do is, you'll be writing the script over here. When this returns true, only then this particular ACL works. So you all might have a question over here, like, so if the requires role is true and security attribute is true, data condition is true, but the script is only false, then this particular ACL works or not? Can anyone guess?
No.
Yeah, you're right. No, only when all the conditions, the role, the security attribute condition, data condition, script condition, if everything returns true, only then this particular ACL works. Else, this ACL won't work. So everything should return true for sure. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, So you can take a 10-minute break and quickly come back. 1 minute.
హలో
Hello.
చెప్పు
Continue చేయాలా session?